effort and reward. Your dog is going to put an effort into something, and then there will be some sort of a result. The dog learns in these moments, right? So let's give an example of this. You have your dog on your leash and you are walking. The dog is interested in smelling this tree or the bush. So it pulls. It may feel tension on the leash, but yet it still gets to the thing that it wants, right? So the effort is trying to get there. And then the reward or the result, right, is actually sniffing the bush. And so now the dog learns, if I try this, that is available. Okay. And so then that's going to be like, okay, this worked. I'm going to do that more often, right? Because they'll know that they'll be able to do that when something else happens. So now you change the context up, and now it's like you're walking, and now there's a person, and they're like, well, this worked before. I'm going to try this. Do they make it to the person? All right. They know that this works, and so to keep trying to do that same kind of thing. You can actually think about this with counter surfing. Dog's curious about something on the counter. They try to reach it. They find success. They're going to do that again. And so when we think about the dog's, behaviors that they do, and we may, dislike them. So let's take about like demand barking, right? The dog barks at you to play with them, and then you do. Their effort of barking led to the reward of them getting to be entertained by playing with you. Okay. And so now you have to change the cycle up if it's going with something that you just don't like, right? So if we go to counter surfing and the dog's like, well, when there's things that are interesting up there, I know that I can do it. So you have to be prepared to block those things. You need to build up a way to talk to your dog, so therefore you can show them that that is not what you want them to be doing, right? Just like with demand barking. If the dog finds that is valuable and that it works, they're going to continue to do that. And so you need to teach them that there is no value in that particular behavior. Same kind of thing with the dog pulling on the leash that wants to get to what they're trying to go to, right? And so it's like you can show the dog how they get the things that they want, right? And so you need to kind of show them a detour instead of like this pushy type behavior. And so if let's say we're going back to the walk concept, and my dog is used to just pulling and going forward with their want, right? I could show them, hey, come into this position and I'll go ahead and get what you want, right? I bring them in and then I release them. I bring them in, then I release them. I bring them in, I take a couple of steps and then I release them. So they can start to learn, all right, when I'm kind of by you, I get to go to the things that I want. When I'm by you, I get to the things that I want. Likewise, we can say the same thing for the demand barking, right? If the dog is used to being like bark, 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 bark. Okay, now you play with me, but now it's like bark, 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 bark. You're not playing with me. Then they get disinterested and go do something else, and then you're like, hey, are you ready? Come play tug with me. They're going to be like, oh, okay. I don't bark at you to get the game. That's not how the game starts. You kind of just start the game. You call it out. Ready? And then they come and play. So you need to be aware of what you're allowing your dog to practice, right? Because they're going to try things, and then there's going to be some sort of a result. If they get to the result that they like, they're going to do more of that. If the result of that is wasted energy, they're not going to continue those type of things, right? We have to remove any type of thing that they could enjoy from there, right? And so when you can think about it in that context of like, okay, there is no value in your efforts. There's no reward for your efforts. We're going to diminish that behavior, okay? And if we want them to continue to do something, I will make that behavior be like, hey, yeah, this leads to a lot of things. For like a recall, for example, if I have the dog here and it's like here, yes, boom, 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 yes, boom, boom, boom. There's a lot of food, a lot of food, a lot of food, a lot of food. If I want the dog to play more with me, I want them to tug more on the leash. It's like, or on the toy, we tug, 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 they pull, they win. tug, 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 they pull, they win. So like, all right, if I put in the effort of trying to take the tug away from you, I'm going to get it. And if I want to build that up in the dog, I'm going to do that, right? And then I can extend out how much effort they're putting in order to get the reward. And so just think about how you are guiding your dog's efforts and the results that come from those efforts.